All right, we're gonna try this again. Here goes Chef Slappy with another recipe off of his Don't Bother Me, I'm Cooking menu. And for today's recipe, I'm gonna be working on my curry shrimp. Now, when I make my curry shrimp, one of the things that I do start off with is sauteing my vegetables. So to prepare, I like to work with the green, red, orange, and yellow bell peppers. Go ahead and get those cut up into thin slices. I like to cut them the long way. These will be sauteed with some seasoning, as you'll see later in this video. For everybody out there, once again, as you know, I am a Niner fan. You'll see here and there, it's either going to be a Niner vest. You'll see, the Niner apron. You'll see that I'm out there with the Niner barbecue wear the days I touch the grill. And if I'm sitting there and I'm working on my daiquiris and things like that, I have my Niner shot glasses that I do a lot of things in. I'm always going to rep my Niners, Warriors, and A's. So if you don't like neither of the three, you might not like my video. But back to what I'm doing. This video is a little sped up right here just so that you can see as I dice things. I didn't want to have a 30-minute video that you had to sit here and watch through. After I get my bell peppers diced up, what I do is, some people use red onions. I like to use the white onion and go ahead and get that cut up into thin slices as well. If there's times in the video where you hear the sound has went out, it doesn't mean that the video stopped and that I'm not going to talk anymore. All it means is that I couldn't do the voiceover with the music because of the copyright infringement. And a lot of times when I'm in my kitchen, I cook with love, and a consequence of cooking with love is that you're going to go ahead. Hold on, there's other coworkers on the line. So yeah, I'm in the trucking game. So there's a lot of trucks that's going to be moving across my yard. I'm going to do my best so that you don't have to be traumatized with the sounds of trucks interrupting you while you're in the kitchen. But like I said, go ahead and chop that onion up. This blue bowl that you see right here, this would be the first set of vegetables that I throw in with my curry. Now at this stage, what I did was I took a potato peeler, and it sucked because I couldn't find the regular carrots at the store, so I had to get the baby carrots. So I had to be kind of careful as I was going ahead and trimming those through. As you'll see, little pieces of carrots shoot off here and there. I'm not a big carrot person, so those little pieces I did not recycle, I did not reuse. Those went ahead and made it straight to my trash can. We got a lot of candidates. I know the guys you guys saw there yesterday. They were doing mainly in OTAs, which is we have a lot of team reps and that stuff. But Jalen, we gave him some work there, especially with Mike out on the side here at right tackle. But you got your starters who play those 5 spots, and everyone else you want to be able to play anywhere. You want to get some of the guys up on game day. Once I'm done with my carrot, you'll see I only use one Scotch Bonnet pepper. For some people, let's just keep it with the Habanero pepper so we can keep it simple, something that you can find. I don't need you guys going around the store looking for Scotch Bonnet pepper and you can't figure out what's going on, or you don't know what you're looking for. But you're going to go ahead and dice that up into finely thin pieces. Do your best to avoid the seeds, as the seeds are something that do carry a lot of the heat. If you want it spicier, go ahead and slip a few seeds in there. You'll feel it later. As you see, as I get that all in the bowl, I go ahead and mix that together. Yes, you can keep it separated, dump it in, and do all the mixing in the pan, but I like to get it mixed together so I can already, I don't have to do as much mixing in the pan and trying to separate different things. I like to make sure I have a nice variety of all the flavors spread across my pan. Now here we are with the garlic. I took about 5 cloves of garlic. Go ahead and peel the skin off of those, chop the tips off, crush them, peel the skin, and start to dice those into fine pieces as well. All right, here I go with my fresh thyme. Now, some people like to leave their thyme sticks longer. When I do my curry, I tend to cut it a little smaller, just so I can have it spread out. I don't have to use as much thyme. But when I make my oxtails, that's something I do. I actually leave the thyme in longer pieces. So as you'll see, I have my scallions, or my green onions, my coconut milk, my seasonings with my garlic powder, my Blue Mountain curry powder, that Scotch Bonnet pepper sauce. I actually grabbed that from Walmart. Onion powder, salt, and pepper, and I use the Slap Your Mama's white salt. Go ahead and get your shrimp seasoned up. Here we go. Just make sure I leave the tails on, just as it makes for a better visual. But you're more than welcome to pull your tails off if you just want to be able to throw the shrimp over the rice when you're done with this meal, and grab a fork and begin to enjoy. So after I get all of that seasoned up, I go ahead and let that sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. And while that's sitting and marinating, what I'm going to do is go ahead and get a pan so that I can start preparing my grease. This time I'm going to do something a little different actually. Instead of using regular butter, I have a garlic parmesan basil butter, as well as a garlic basil oil that I'm going to utilize when it comes to getting my pan heated. So I put a little bit of regular olive oil in my pan, about 2 tablespoons. I use about a tablespoon of my garlic basil olive oil, as well as I'm going to mix some regular butter and the garlic parmesan basil butter in the pan. Like I said, for this recipe, this is the first time I used that garlic parmesan basil butter, and it came out fire. That's something that I probably will keep a part of this recipe, as long as I can keep up with the location of that butter, because it is rare for me to come across it. As your pan gets hot, what you're going to want to do, go ahead and drop your vegetables in your pan, so that they can start sauteing. I'm doing this over like a medium heat, medium high. What you just saw right there was I almost dropped my camera. I had it kind of placed on my stand on the counter in a drawer, and being that the drawers were in my way, I went to close it and forgot that I even had it in the drawer. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and use some of my Blue Mountain curry seasoning, drop that in the pan, as well as the spicy jerk seasoning I have. I'm going to get that in the pan with the vegetables. And with the oil and the butter, I'm going to start cooking it up and burning the curry. Not burning the curry, but actually cooking off that bitter curry taste that can come if you're using the curry straight. You always want to cook your curry off some, so if you're not a vegetable fan, just make sure with the oil and the grease, you go ahead and cook your curry a little bit for, I would say 2 to 5 minutes. You don't want to cook it too long. Like I said, as you see, that's my jerk spicy curry, and then a little more of my Blue Mountain curry. Get that mixed up in the pan. Looking at the pan now, as you'll see, you don't really see the grease and the butter anymore, and that's because it's all sticking to the vegetables that I'm cooking. So with that in there, I dropped a little more butter. That's that garlic parmesan basil butter. Like I said, I want to do a good job of grabbing that flavor. I want to make sure I add to it. At this time, I'll go ahead and add my thyme, my fresh thyme, and I'll go ahead and add the garlic. The carrots I still will not add until a little later when things start to simmer. And the last thing you want to do is end up burning your garlic. So I would say cook your garlic for maybe 1 to 2 minutes in the pan. Give it the opportunity for the garlic to cook with the rest of the vegetables, so that flavor can spread throughout your pan as you're sauteing. Off to the side, I already have my rice cooking, so that I'll have my rice. No, I did not do rice and peas with this meal. I went ahead and just made plain white rice. That is my curry Scotch Bonnet sauce. It was almost at the end of the bottle, so I just added about 2 tablespoons full of water, shook that up to get the last out the bottle, and went and added that to it. This is going to give it a nice spice. As for me, I like the spice, but the Scotch Bonnet curry is not required for this meal. What you see me opening now is my coconut milk. So to calm down the the sauteing situation. And to start spreading that flavor, you want to go ahead and add about a cup to a cup and a half of coconut milk. You can use coconut cream as well. In this situation, I use coconut milk.
Problem is I didn't do measurements. I kind of just started cooking like I cook.
And I wanted to make sure I had enough to coat at least the bottom of my pan. The middle of my pan still was still showing, so I added a little more just so that I could make sure I hit the whole pan, so that after I simmer and I add the shrimp, then the shrimp will go ahead and all the shrimp will be covered so that it can simmer. Shrimp is only going to take about 3 to 5 minutes to cook. So as you're letting that heat up and it starts to simmer, it's going to get to the stage where I'm going to grab the top, cover it, let it simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes, stir it occasionally, as well as I'm going to go ahead and add my carrots to this stage of it so that my carrots can start to soften and I don't have hard carrots. If you're cutting your carrot like in little slices and they're thicker slices, you may need to throw your carrots in earlier so that they can cook. But as you see, using the potato peeler, I had thin sliced carrots. So the thickness and having crunchy carrots really wasn't going to be my issue, because it was going to have a little time to be able to cook with the rest of the meal. And as I said, you want to keep an eye on it. Make sure you stir it. You don't want to allow things to burn. So you don't want to leave your sauce just sitting for too long where it's simmering with the top on and it's starting to burn around the edges or burn in the middle. Now, as anybody who cooks knows, that as you start adding your seafood or your protein or whatever to something that's simmering, it's going to adjust the temperature. So at this time, it allows me to get my shrimp in there with the tails on and go ahead and start to mix that in so that the curry sauce and all those vegetables can go ahead and start to baste in the flavor throughout the meal. I'm going to bring that back to a simmer, and at this point I want to turn it down to about a medium-low heat, so that I'm not cooking it too fast. One thing I was taught young is low and slow is the way to go. If you want to make any meal taste great, you don't want to cook it on a high heat too fast. It will take a little time. Greatness always takes time. But you go ahead and let that simmer for a little bit, and like I said, just like you had the sauce, go ahead and start to flip your shrimp, get all that mixed around, stir it up. As you'll see, as I'm patting it down, it's more so just to make sure my shrimp is completely covered and that all of my shrimp is in the sauce. I'm trying to avoid having shrimp stacked on top of shrimp. At this point of the video, if you look, you can see that it's bubbling. It's like the sauce is talking to me. It's whistling around my house, and everybody in the house is smelling what I'm smelling. This good, luscious curry shrimp that I have going on the stove.
After she done talking shit.
I would say after about a good 5 minutes of letting your shrimp cook in the curry, you'll see your tails turn like an opaque. They'll be like a pinkish orange color, and that's when you'll know your shrimp is just about done. So there still are other benefits of leaving the tail on your shrimp to make sure your shrimp is cooked all the way through. Last thing you want to do is bite into some curry shrimp and still be tasting that seafood taste because you didn't cook the shrimp completely. So what you see me doing now is I actually grabbed a little bit of rice, and I'm going to grab a little bit of curry. Actually, I had to check my rice. At this stage, I was checking my rice to see where my rice was at, to see if it was done all the way. Believe it or not, I had to add just a little more water and let the rice simmer just to make sure the rice was cooked thoroughly. You don't want to ruin your meal by thinking your rice is cooked, going ahead throwing the curry on top, and then you bite into it and find out that you still got hard pieces of rice. Your rice is over or undercooked. So Go ahead and throw those on the back eyes. The way my stove is set up, my back eyes actually do a better job of simmering than my front eyes. My front eyes are a lot stronger. So at this point, one of my favorites, I just go ahead and get a little bit of the rice,
You know, I got them.
as well as I'm going to add a little bit of curry, and then I slide that to one of my favorite taste testers. One of the people I cook for the most, it's my mother. So she's always the one to critique me, as well as tell me, hey son, you should add this, you should not add this, or whatever the case may be. But more than anything, it lets me know where my food stands and if it's to her liking, because I will say our parents can be some of our best critics for some of the pickiest eaters that we know. Yeah, see, there goes the part of the video, like I was saying, I had to add some more water just to make sure the rice was done all the way. My mother let me know that some of the rice still needs to cook just a tad longer. So now that my curry shrimp is done and my rice is done, it is just about that stage. Oh yeah, I had the flash in the camera just before. Here we go. So what you see on top, after the rice and the shrimp is on there, I chop up the green onions to finish off this dish.